Mother of God. Is it 14 days till Christmas? Whatever shall I do? I haven't even started Christmas shopping. I genuinely don't know what I'm going to do. I've just been working, busting ghosts. Like we're going to do today. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Karis. You're watching You Don't Scare Me. We're going to be checking out 8 scary ghost videos that are hauntingly disturbing just in time for the Christmas season. Or is that 11 ghosts? Who cares? Let's watch a video. Base. Nope. Base 2. Base 2. And away we go. Yeah, it's Christmas is right around the corner and it's stressing me out just because I obviously haven't done anything. I work, I sleep, I get up, I go to work, I come home. Every now and again I get to do a scary video or a spooky video review like this. But probably like once a week I get to sit down and actually do this. I'm only a week ahead right now. Terrible. I'd like to devote more time to it, but I also kind of want to play Skyrim because I haven't played Skyrim in a while.
One of these cameras caught something that made his...
Maybe I'll do like a video on... I think I've been over this one already. Yeah, so this guy's like, he's been posting a lot of these videos on his YouTube channel. I haven't found the YouTube channel, so take that with a grain of salt, but I've seen a couple of videos from this guy, from this perspective, and this perspective's, or this particular camera. Oh, this one moved! Hey, look at that! It moved! So this is a new, it's a new video from the same guy.
This disturbing creature
The first time I saw this guy come up, he had a large light anomaly cruising across his front lawn. The second time was a guy walking really goofily across his front pathway there, which is probably this video. And that was just half of it. Yeah, this is it. You see? He's got his arms like back, like he's like drunk or something. And then he just like has this really weird Johnny Depp sort of like Captain Jack Sparrow like running. Watch. See, it's very intentionally lumbering and very intentionally strange, but you see how he puts his arms back and he starts like running? That is a human. Without a shadow of a doubt, that is a human running. The video is slowed down because you can see like the, you know, that little dust mote, that bug fly by. But this is in fact a human who is attempting their best to look as weird as possible in front of a camera. So it's pretty obvious that it's intentionally a human because like they're trying to like make a really weird and unnerving sort of like movement style, and then at a certain point he just gives up the ghost and starts running with his arms behind him like a ninja or something, like a Naruto nerd.
Either this was or a strange person that desperately needs
it's not just a strange person, it's the actual person who filmed it. And if it's probably like a, what do you call a on to the next video.
With cameras practically everywhere these days, it's inevitable that strange things are sometimes caught. Things that have left viewers searching for answers. And some of these videos eventually end up on the Unexplained subreddit. A Reddit user named RedNinja629 found himself on this subreddit, eagerly hoping
High Strangeness, was it?
The video he would soon upload.
Nick and I frequent High Strangeness and we're looking for weird shit to talk about.
Bizarre on their home security camera.
Every time I swear I look at my
and was left
timer to make sure I'm past the threshold. A snake?
As the camera was rolling, something unusual appeared at the top of the screen.
It's a little unusual, yeah.
The form came into view for just a few moments before disappearing. This eerie anomaly somewhat resembles a snake, but as it suddenly appeared, then soon vanished. I highly doubt that.
I can say it's probably a snake, and I'm gonna say why. It appears to be a snake, obviously, because of the tail when it comes down. The fact that it dissipates as it goes back up is probably just an artifact of the camera's compression software, as we've talked about previously. Any kind of Ring camera or continuous recording device will have a compression software built into it to prevent itself from, one, recording 200 gigs worth of footage every hour. And you got to also understand that when you're recording in like a high frame rate, like right now I'm recording in 1080p 60 frames per second, as you can see. It's probably not 60 frames per second, but when you record 60 frames per second, the file size gets larger. 120 frames per second, much larger. So a lot of these cameras tend to go down to like 30 or less, even like 15, 10, sometimes even like 1 frame per second. But they record really small to save the file size, to make the file size really small, and also to reduce the amount of power consumption. Because if the camera is constantly rolling and taking pictures, the camera is, 1, heating up, 2, requiring a lot of power. So if it's on an auxiliary battery like a trail cam, that trail cam is going to die really quickly because it's too high. That's why trail cameras typically only take pictures rather than videos, because they die rather quickly. Second off is the compression software is used to preserve the camera's functionality, to allow it to record continuously. And so the way that works is it's recording the whole screen, but then it turns off like most of the view of the screen. So it's just repeating the same image over and over again until something moves and triggers the camera to start warming up or powering up. So a lot of times you're missing like half of the movement because the camera took a couple seconds to turn on when it detected that motion. Higher end cameras, or like live streaming cameras like the Waze cams, they're a little bit snappier with it, but there's always like there's motion, so take a picture, and then there's a jump. The person like appears to jump forward and then walk around, and that jump is the camera triggering the motion and going, hey, there's a motion, take a picture, so that we have a positive ID on the person if it's a criminal or something, and then boot up the camera while we set ourselves up, and then we can start recording. So a lot of the times when you get this kind of compression, this kind of camera, that distance away isn't enough for it to trigger the camera's motion. So things tend to pop into frame and pop out of frame a lot of times. Second off is when the camera relies on light to be reflecting off an object and returning back to the camera lens. And when that happens, it can then interpret the light code that comes back to it into data. It parses it like left to right, like basically binary, one to left to right, and then translates that in a program and says, this is what you're looking at. There's no actual, like, humans will look and it's like the pinhole effect. You're looking at something and that thing is flipped upside down, put into the back of your brain, or into the back of your eye, and then your eye flips that image over and processes it. That's how a camera works. The light comes into the lens, it hits the back light, the board that sits in the back of the camera lens, and then what it does is it like basically converts all of the light that's being touched on that plate upside down. It converts that into binary, and then it sends it to the computer, and then the computer translates that back to an image, and then it basically just like builds it up and says, yeah, this is an approximation of what we're looking at. So digital photography is not a very good sign for ghosts, because a lot of it, because it's left to right, the process of taking a photo, you're always going to have ambient artifacts in the background, like somebody moving their head too quickly, or moving their head at the same rate of the shutter, the rolling shutter effect and shit like that. So when you see this and it looks like a snake, it's probably a snake. And the reason it appears to disappear is probably because the camera is in a low compensation or low power compensation mode, and there's not enough light being reflected off the object and returned to the iris for it to even interpret what it's looking at. So it's just repeating the same image that it was already seeing, sans movement, right? So the tail comes down, and then the tail moves to the side. But when the tail moves to the side, it's no longer gathering enough light, so it goes, oh, there's nothing there, and goes back to its original still image that it's been holding on to for the last 18 hours. That's my opinion on the snake ghost. And I'm not wrong. That's how cameras work. Watch. See, it comes down, and then when it turns, it almost fades out because the camera is no longer able to absorb the light and interpret the light into the object that it's looking at.
A truck driver named Ken from Illinois was making his way.
A lot of times, unfortunately, that's what it is, especially when you see people who are walking down the road in a lot of these videos. You see them kind of fade in and out or whatever, they disappear into the, same thing with these cameras. you can only see what's being picked up by light entering the camera lens. So when you...
As his truck quickly approached the bridge, something unsettling can be...
It's kind of weird that there's a person walking.
What looks like a woman dressed in white suddenly appeared in the middle.
Not necessarily that they suddenly appeared in the middle of the road, but it's the same principles, is that the camera isn't picking him up because there's not enough light returning off of that person to be interpreted by the camera. And so they suddenly snap into frame because you get close enough that the light is returning to the iris faster and faster, and then, you know, there's a connection point where the light returns to the iris within a fraction of a second, and then I can start interpreting the data properly.
You see that? That's a white figure. I don't know if that's a person, an entity. When you watch the video, you're going to believe that it's...
Okay, so an entity is literally just a
almost looks transparent, almost looks like you can see.
Like a sentient creature. So a human is an entity as well. I get what he's trying to get at here. He's not saying that it's a human entity. He's saying it's an anomalous entity or a ghost. But an entity doesn't mean that it's anomalously, like, it doesn't mean that it's a ghost. It just means that it's a thing that has cognition of some form, you know.
As we went through it,
I mean, to be fair, I don't even think that that's true. I think that you can be an entity without having cognition. I'm not totally up to speed with it, but if I had to guess, I'm not here to give you an English lesson. I'm terrible at English. It's not my... It's not my thing. What's up with this?
People involved in the accident claim to have seen the exact same figure, and because
shameless shill there.
The person in the
didn't work.
So what exactly could this ghoulish...
Yeah, such is the way. I mean, there's like folktale about that all over the place. Let's be real here too. This is a highway. I mean, if it was the 401, I'd say sure, because the 401 and the 407 kill so many people every year. But
experience and share the music with everyone online. But hidden within her countless videos is a piece of security camera footage that doesn't quite make sense.
It's a bug. We've seen this kind of thing time and time again. It does look like some kind of alien creature migrating through the house. But this is what's called a perspective, right? It appears as though it's coming through and around the corner, and it's like traveling through her house, but in fact it's actually just right in front of her lens. And the lenses of these cameras are kind of domed. They have a convex sort of shape to them. And so it tends to it tends to sort of follow this particular pathway. What am I trying to say? I'm distracted by the video now.
Finders Beepers history.
Yeah, what I was trying to say was that because of the nature of the lens and the fact that lenses are curved on security cameras to capture more of like an area, gives you a wider range. A lot of things tend to look like they're further away or closer to the lens because of that fisheye aspect. In this case, it's just a small wisp of like of light, or what do you call, not light, dust or dirt or cobweb. That's the word. It's a small wisp of cobweb that's slowly moving across the camera gently because it's really light, and it perceived to be far away because of the nature of the fisheye lens. It's not a ghost.
Matt and Andy set out to explore an old abandoned house with almost everything left behind. And along for the adventure was Matt's dog Bear with a GoPro strapped.
I was just turning that back on. I don't care if you subscribe.
Made their way to the living room, but as they dug through the forgotten...
I mean, subscribe if you're enjoying yourself. If you made it this far into the video, I feel like you're still interested in what I have to say. And so maybe I've earned a subscription by now. But if I haven't earned the subscription and you're still kind of interested in our stuff, drop us a like so YouTube recommends us more, and we might give you something more interesting to watch later on. I've seen these guys' videos a lot. It's a very common trope in their videos that they hear a whistle and then they... Yeah. So...
Oh, he's upstairs. Bear? 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 Oh, he's coming now. That worried me. I thought he'd hurt himself or something, or...
I don't whimper.
Yeah.
what sounded like a whistle.
That's adorable.
Where's Bear? Luckily, Bear soon showed back up, seeming as excited as ever to explore the house. But while scoping out a bedroom,
Is this the...
sound came from the stairs.
Why's that got a lock on it there for a bathroom cabinet? That makes no sense at all.
There's a medication inside
Someone has definitely just run down.
the cabinet that the parents don't want kids getting into, so they lock the cabinet. Makes perfect sense to me. I believe I've seen videos like this before. There's actually a person inside the building that they were exploring. It's not a ghost. There was a squatter. There was a person inside, and that person
Hello?
tried to escape while they were distracted. Because he felt like he was gonna get into an altercation or he was in danger. I've seen videos where these guys are like, the dog's running around with a camera on his back, and he runs upstairs and he looks under the bed, and there's a person there, and that person's hiding, and so they're like, you know, startled by it, but you're a person who's urban exploring and somebody else comes into the house and you're not sure what your intentions are. The natural
Not secure. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to.
thought process is to hide,
Just having a look round.
and that's basically what this position being in the same house as somebody else.
They were not alone. The guy searched several rooms, trying to find who or what could have caused that sound. They eventually thought
That guy took off into the night and ran as far as he could, as fast as he could, because he wasn't sure what your intentions were.
discovery.
We now.
Yeah, this is the one. It's the guy's under the bed, right?
The area.
The danger being, like, if
He froze. His nose
this person is, you know, if you guys are drug dealers, let's say, and you have violent intentions, it might you know, be difficult for this person to reach out. But if I was urban exploring and somebody came in and was like, hello, and then they're just, you know, state your intentions,
lucky that
you could probably get along. They might have had some fun together.
as they were clearly squatting in this
They didn't.
house, familiar with its layout.
They were hiding for
Or
sure.
not. Luckily, the duo made it out of this situation alive, and were even able to joke as they continued to explore.
Oh no. What is it?
Nothing really to it. Sorry, I'm off camera again.
Is it a chair?
Chair. Looks like an old chair.
What's it? Is there anything in these drawers?
It's in his head.
Oh no. Don't, because I could see it. Looking at the wall as well behind you. It's like a scene out of a horror film, isn't it? With stuff.
Stain.
Yeah. Oh, it's horrible.
Number 6.
Yeah,
Just over a year
silly.
ago, a woman named Rose and her husband took the
I might have to end this one early. It's already over 20 minutes.
excited to finally have a place to call their own. But their
We'll watch this one, and then if I finish the video, I'll make it as a second part, a two-parter. Nick doesn't want us.
often hear not
Nick doesn't want us to go over 30 minutes anymore, because he thinks the videos are too long, and I totally agree. It's easier to watch a 5-minute video, and he wants the click-through rate and everything like that to increase, and it's just we're giving a 40-minute video of like me talking about stupid stuff for 40 minutes. While I think it's fun, I don't think everyone else does.
but he was nowhere
I mean, then again, if you made it this far into the video, you like listening to me talk about stupid shit.
one evening.
Like this catapult that my partner and I got from Edinburgh.
From the kitchen.
It works, it's fun.
He grabbed his phone and began
And a necklace I was supposed to fix like 2 weeks, 2 months,
both.
4 months ago.
I heard something.
I told her to put it on the desk so I could fix it, and then I just left it there. Maybe I'll fix it today. Ooh. That's eerie.
Ghost is out and about again.
If I'm going to guess, there's a fan blowing on those cups. And those cups are filling with air and rocking back and forth because they're full of air. You can kind of hear the fan.
What's
Oh, look.
what?
Well, the cabinet's opening.
Oh,
Oh, a bit of clever editing there, eh? If I had to guess, that's There was enough time there where the guy was recording the camera or recording the cups. There's enough time there for him to reach over and grab a string or a fishing line and start manipulating the closet door there. It's actually not that hard. Like if he ties it around the top of the door handle there, and then he puts a nail on the top of his cabinet, he can tie it around there. He can go around the nail and use it as an anchoring point to pull towards himself without getting into the perspective of the camera. I'm trying to see if there's a string anywhere.
After hearing something in the kitchen, he cautiously walked over, only to find 2 mugs mysteriously swinging back and forth.
Pink Dyson vacuum is kind of neat.
Simply watching the...
I don't know what it is, probably a Tinco.
Losing momentum, but as he stared ahead, the cabinet above them slowly began to open on its own.
You see how the cabinet slowly starts to open and it like gets hitched up on a certain point because he's got to readjust his grip or like, you know, pull a little harder?
Things have gone quiet in the house with no further...
There's plenty of ways to do that where it's like obviously like you hide the camera or hide the string on the top of the cabinet and then you put a nail on the top of the adjacent cabinet to do like an anchoring point downward. I could easily show you how to do that, but then I would have to put a hole in my cabinet.
Late one night,
but yeah, anchor and snatch, not snatch blocks per se, but pulleys and anchors are the way to do ghost stuff. It's entirely possible to you basically tie a string around an object and then you have an anchoring point further away, and then when you pull on that, it's going to go towards the anchor point, not yourself. So it's easy to put things on the counter in front of you and pull a string at your side and have the object fly towards the other side of the room, as if you have psychic powers or something. I know I said I was going to stop, but this is the last video for sure. I'm going to stop after this one. Maybe. Well, I mean, there's only 4 minutes left. Alright, we'll finish it. We'll finish it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If Nick doesn't like it, well... Too bad.
He stared ahead, patiently waiting to see if anything would happen, when suddenly the wheelchair began to move. The large wheels in the back began to spin.
It's funny that he knew that the wheelchair was going to move.
If you watch closely, the wheelchair appeared to rotate to face the man recording. The sight of this instantly...
Yeah, that just means somebody's tied their string or their fishing line or whatever on the front left tire, so that when they pulled it, it rotated towards them. The tire, or the wheel was already turned towards the camera, so having it move towards and turn towards the camera is no difficult feat.
He's documented his unsettling experiences on TikTok. One night while at work...
Sorry, I'm slouching. I know, posture.
Dustin could have sworn he saw a woman dressed in black standing in the back hallway. His heart immediately began racing as he pulled out his phone to record.
Okay, I'm freaking out a little bit.
Why are you recording yourself if you're freaking out a little bit?
So,
I don't believe you in the slightest. First off, I hate your haircut.
I was in the back.
I genuinely hate this new haircut.
I was just walking through, and there was something
Hate it.
back there.
Do you hear the overlay of the second speech?
She was just standing there, but
Looked like there was somebody over his shoulder there in the backdrop or the background. You guys got schizophrenia. So he's oh, there she is. So he turned the camera around to show that that person was behind him. So that's a trope. That's a eerie friggin' thing to have. See, when he turns his face towards himself, when he turns the camera towards himself, it's on purpose to show something behind him. This is a cinematography failure, in my personal opinion. When you right, she's got the mobile face.
Dustin.
So, one of the issues that I have, and I take issue with, is the cinematography. I can't say this word very well.
Can be seen behind him.
The cinematography
Dressed in black with long dark hair.
aspect of these things. They're always filming it as if they need to cover all the angles. So if this guy was honestly recording
Turned a corner.
a paranormal event, he wouldn't be flipping between his face. Yeah, he wouldn't be flipping between his face and what he's watching or what he's looking at. He did this on purpose because he knew this thing was going to come up in camera. So he turns it towards his face, and
Gave me chills as it's one of the.
yeah, it's obviously in the background.
And after this video, Dustin better.
Yeah, it's not even like remotely scary.
Is that? Make sure to follow.
That's a mask.
To hear more from you.
Looks like it's made of plasticine.
If you enjoyed.
Okay, it looks like it's made of plasticine. Let's get back to the normal face. So yeah, so that was bullshit. That was like a Halloween mask, or this guy looked like he almost worked in like a theater or a pseudo like, you know, event house, a place that throws events, and then they just happen to have like a mannequin or something like that with Halloween garb or like something like that, like maybe the witch from a Wizard of Oz production or something. Anyway, the point is that the way that these videos are filmed are particularly ridiculous, where they show their face and then it's almost like, you know, when you see their hand is forward, they're reaching for the door handle. I'm like, oh, you know, this is a trope that you see in horror movies. You know, if I were actually filming it, you wouldn't see my hand at all. I'd be white knuckling my phone, reaching forward, opening the door, kicking the door open, maybe like, you know, interacting with whatever candidly. This whole flipping it back to his perspective and like to show that he's scared, it's like, it's ridiculous. Like, I don't need to see your face. You know, you're trying to film a ghost that's in front of you, not in your face, you know? So the fact that he flipped the camera to his face to then walk around and show his face and then flipping the camera back and forth shows me that he's not honestly looking for a ghost, and he doesn't honestly believe there's a ghost there, that he's just trying to show candid ghost footage or candid footage of a ghost, which obviously fake as fuck. Sorry. Anyway, even the Disney Channel is allowed to say the F word once. That was mine. That's how we're going to end the video. That was top 8 scary ghost videos that are hauntingly disturbing. We're over 30 minutes. Nick's going to be mad at me. But hey, you know what? Say lovey. Adios. Okay, love you. Bye.